thieves. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's raining out, so it's always nice for me. I like a good rainstorm. We have made a talisman for Mikhail to protect the home. So if you want to learn how to do one of those, you can by looking at that video. But we're going to use a psalm for protecting the home as well. You can do both, or you can do one or the other. Either way you want to do it. The psalms work by themselves, but so do the talismans. So feel free to do what you like. This one is Psalm 18, and boy, is it one of the longest ones in the book. It goes on and on and on. So it's very powerful, but you have to be a little bit committed to get through it, not only as an incantation, but also as a magical operation. So this is going to take a while. So stay with me. It's worth it because it brings great blessings of protection to the home. Now we did one for a happy home, which we did as well. But this one is more about protecting your home from harm. Okay, so make sure that you have good locks and an alarm system and all that stuff, and that that you take good care on the physical plane. But then utilizing this magic will really give you some great protection for your home. This psalm is also used to deliver you from any other kind of enemies or people that are wishing you harm, but specifically for protecting the home. All right, here we go. Psalm 18. I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were waters dark, and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them. He shot out lightnings and discomforted them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought forth also into a large place. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him. I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore hath the Lord recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful, and with an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt thou bring down high looks. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God have I leapt over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. For who is God save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our God? It is God that girdeth me with strength, and make my way perfect. He maketh my feet like He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and settleth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of my salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath maken me, oh goodness gracious, let's try that again. And thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies, and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them, that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. Thou hast given me the rocks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as a dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and blessed me by my rock. And let the God of my salvation be exalted. It is God that avengeth me, and subdueth the people under me. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David and to his seed forevermore. All right, so we're going to personalize this for protecting your home, but there's a lot in here also that you can look at within your own mind as far as overcoming a lot of peril within yourself, a lot of what is causing problems for you in your life. Okay, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. That's just it's just a statement of fact. It is through love, it is through infinite love that you were created, and it is through infinite love that you meet that which created you. So you must love the Lord with all your strength, who is your strength, You must love the Lord who is your strength in order to be one with the Lord in consciousness. It is through that love that you find love itself. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. This is again the infinite power of the universe, the infinite oneness of the universe, the infinite intelligence. All power, omnipotence is that which is your rock, that which is your substance, that which is your foundation, and your fortress, that which is your protection, and my deliverer, that which takes you out of danger. My God, my strength, in whom I will trust. You want to trust nothing but strength. You want to trust nothing but infinite strength, which is your God. My buckler and the horn of my salvation. Again, reiterating that this power that causes the earth to spin is also what is protecting you and protecting your home. And my high tower. Every possible image of protection is being given you here. And it's good to see these images in your mind, all about your house. See the high tower. See the towers at the four directions around your home. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised, so shall I be saved from my enemies. Call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised. It is through praise that you find your connection to your oneness with divinity. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. Again, this is the we're talking about what the world appears to be. This world is a world of sorrows and death, and they compass us. And the floods of these sorrows and death of this world and the ungodliness of this world make us afraid. We are confessing that. We are acknowledging that this is a world of fear. And the world of fear is why people would break into a home, why people would invade a home, why you would need protection, right? The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. This is, again, we are recognizing the evilness that is this world, but we are also recognizing through this that this world is not real and that this world is under our domain when we choose to see it that way. And then there is nothing to fear. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even unto his ears. So no matter what's going on or what your fears are in this world, your call to God is always heard, and his nature is responsiveness. Then the earth shook. This is him responding. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth. Again, you're not contacting some external deity. You are contacting your father and mother within you. The infinite power of the universe that is one with you and you are a child of. And so when you call upon this, everything gets moved. Everything shakes. And all evil starts to get shaken up. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and a fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. Okay, so look at those. Just those images are so powerful that when you call upon God about something that's evil going on in your life or things that you're afraid of, the response is immediate, and it's smoke, hellfire, and brimstone, okay? Smoke out of his nostrils, the earth shakes, everything trembles. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet, just like he's trampling on the darkness. And he rode upon a cherub. That's the highest of the angels. He just took one of those angels out to fly right to you and fly. Yea, did he fly upon the wings of the wind, right to the problem, right to where the problem is. Because you called, he answered. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waves and thick clouds of the skies. So God is hiding in the darkness, ready to kill the darkness, which didn't ever exist in the first place. So there's nothing to fear, because look at the kind of protection that you have going for you. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. So his brightness that he was hiding now opens up the dark, thick clouds, and he rains down hailstones and coals of fire onto the problem. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire, again with the hailstones and the coals of fire. Just right at it, just right at the problem. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Just completely abolishing the problem, right? Abolishing the problem. Now imagine that this is happening when somebody tries to break into your house, right? It's not such a pretty thing for them. And again, we're not wishing ill upon people, but we are feeling safe, because this is what we have at our disposal. This is what God does for us. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. Just the breath of thy nostrils, just completely annihilating and demolishing the problem. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of the many waters. So he's taking you under his care, and this includes your dwelling. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. So even though this world seems like it's overwhelmingly evil, and how are you ever going to survive? And especially, how can we feel safe in a world like this? Well, he delivered you from that strong enemy, and you have nothing to worry about. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. No matter what you see on the news, and no matter what you hear from your neighbors, and how bad you think everything is in the world, and how dangerous it is, and how you don't feel safe, it's not the case. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Yeah, so God loves you. God loves you no matter what you do or you don't do. And he brings you forth into a large place, meaning that he's giving you all good, all safety, all protection, and it's big. It's large. It's a big big deal. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. So you can't not be clean, okay? You can't not be divine. God only sees you as real, and what's real about you is what he created in you. He created you perfect, right? Now you can really mess up, and when you do that, you are turning yourself away from God, and therefore what you're getting is feeling at the effect of the evilness of the world when you do that. But it's not because you changed your essential nature, and it's not because God changed his opinion of you. It is only you that created your own new opinion of yourself, and you're going to reap the results of that because your mind is so powerful. So instead, you want to remind yourself that the Lord rewards you because you already are righteous. You already are clean. Your hands already are clean, and you want to keep it that way so that you don't have to go through these problems of being vulnerable to this world. Your invulnerability is your own defenselessness, according to A Course in Miracles. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. That's right. Well, you couldn't depart from God even if you wanted to, but you can think you did. You can think you did. And your thought is everything, and you will get the rewards of your own thinking, because that's how powerful your mind is. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. So you want to remember the not so much, you don't want to go necessarily, I mean, unless you're a biblical person, you can go and look at all the laws and stuff like that. That's not what we're talking about with statutes in our Psalms. We're talking about, think about the qualities of God. Think about the principles of divinity. You know, infinite life, infinite love, infinite beauty, infinite truth, all of those qualities, and you want to become one with those. Those are his statutes, and if you think along those lines, your behavior reflects those lines as well, and therefore you're not confusing yourself by thinking in terms of being at the effect or vulnerable of the evilness of this world, because the evilness of this world no longer has power over you, because you are putting yourself in alignment with the qualities of God, and that's what we mean by his statutes. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Yeah, you just got to keep reminding yourself of who you are, so you don't get fall back into the lies and the stories that you tell about yourself. That's your iniquity. Therefore hath the Lord recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. Again, he sees you already. His eyesight, he sees you as he created you, not how you are trying to think of yourself as being separate from him, not as the story, not as the lies that you tell about yourself. He knows what you're really about, and he loves you just the way you are. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. That's just how it is. You project onto God that which you are, that which you think about yourself. So if you think God's being angry, it's because you're bringing anger into the equation, not because God's doing it. It's just a law of consciousness that everything you see is a reflection of everything that you are. And so if you're seeing God as somebody that's as a force that's punishing you, then that means that you're bringing guilt into the equation. That means that you're bringing fear into the equation. Once you recognize and realize that God loves you and wants nothing but good for you, because that's how he created you, and you really get that, then you stop having those results in your life where you are feeling as though God is punishing you. God never punished you because God never condemned you, but you sure do a lot of good condemnation of yourself. Then you seek punishment in order, because because guilt demands it, and then you blame God, right? That's how that works. It has nothing to do with God. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. Okay, so whenever you're in trouble, you are saved. Whenever you are arrogant, it's not that you're going to get punished, but it's that you're off the beam. It's like you unplug the lamp from the outlet, so click, 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 click. What's wrong? I can't get the light to work anymore. Why? Because you unplugged it from the current, right? So your arrogance and thinking that you're going to do things your way and not God's way. It's not that you're getting punished. It's that you're removing yourself from the current. You want to plug yourself into the current. Doing things God's way doesn't mean that you're giving up your free will, or that you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. Not being arrogant, not doing things your way, but doing things the way that you were created to be as God created you, means that you have 100% free will, and that everything good starts taking off for you, because all of the heart's desires start to manifest. You start being able to do, be, and have the things which truly make you happy. That's what that's all about. I know we're supposed to be keeping this on keeping your house safe, but I just had to put that out there. Okay, for thou wilt light my candle. The Lord God will enlighten my darkness. That's right. God's going to light your candle and completely enlighten you. For by thee have I run through a troop, and by my God have I leapt over a wall. No matter what the obstacle is, no matter what the perceived danger is, you are safely delivered from it. And that includes even if you live in a bad neighborhood. Okay, again, you're not going to be irresponsible with that. You're going to do everything in your power to keep your home safe, locked and secure, but this is going to make sure that those efforts are greatly magnified. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. That's right. His way is perfect because he is the way. He is the power. There is nothing but him. And when I say him, that's a problem with our language. We mean him and her. They, it, she. For who is God save the Lord, or who is a rock save our God? Exactly. There's none other. What's more perfect than perfect? How can you add to infinity? Right? How can you become anything other than perfect when you are perfection? It is God that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. That's right. God will make your way perfect because God created you perfect. All you're doing when you ask to be made perfect is to be helped and to stop doing things that are the opposite of what your true nature is. That's all that means. You're already perfect. It's just we're not demonstrating that perfection here because we are doing so much work trying to separate ourselves from our source. That's what this world is all about. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet and setteth me upon my high places. That's right. He's going to take you up and set you there. Just like when you take your little baby, like if you have like a little puppy or a little kitty, you take them up and you put them where they want to be. You don't say, "No, if you can't make it yourself, sorry. I'm not going to." No, you pick them up and you put them on the bed or wherever they need to go, right? He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. That's right. He's going to teach you the art of war, meaning how to triumph over your own darkness. How to triumph over your own darkness. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. So remember, God is perfect peace. Even though it seems like he's not here. But God is perfect peace. And in his right hand, again, that's just an old way of saying that which most people are right-handed, and so your right hand symbolizes that which has the most utility. All right, so God's right hand holds you up. That means he's really, really, really going to make everything right for you. You have nothing to fear. And it's his gentleness that makes you great. So therefore, his peace makes you great, meaning that you must be peaceful in order to come in contact with the peace of God. So it is through peace that you are made great. Isn't that interesting and wonderful? Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. Even your own errors, even your own carelessness, you are being saved from by claiming it. Not because, not just arbitrarily, you are claiming it. You can't expect all this stuff just to happen for you. You have to do your work, and your work is to claim that which you want. You must command that it is so. Over and over again sometimes. Because you are combating all of these awful habits that we have about this world. This world is nothing but a conglomeration of really bad habits. I have pursued mine enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. So all those enemies, remember, the enemies are within your mind. And you are not going to give up until they are all consumed. You are not going to put up with any nonsense from yourself. And if you're not going to put up with any nonsense from yourself, God's going to underwrite those efforts. And when you say, my home is safe, God agrees, and God's there with you. And so is Michael in our case, if you're working with the angels. Michael is the angel that is installed, that it comes and God sends that angel into your home to protect it. I have wounded them, that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. All of those inner thought forms, all of those things that you carry on about yourself, that you're imperfect, that you're troubled, that you're poor, that you're vulnerable, that you're weak, that you're at the effect of the nonsense of this world, all of those are fallen under your feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued me under thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. You and God together, one with God, is a majority. There is nothing that cannot be done, nothing that cannot be accomplished, and it all must be about you overcoming within yourself. Once you overcome within yourself, you believe me, the world will follow suit. Don't believe me, try it out. Don't believe me, try this out for yourself, and give it a real good, honest try, and work with this stuff for a while. Give it a couple, 2-3 months of working with these Psalms, right? Thou hast given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. Yeah. And again, we're not necessarily talking about the potential thieves that are coming into your home, because they will be taken care of. I promise you that. We are talking about the necks of the enemies within you that keep you vulnerable. They keep you vulnerable to this world. They keep you at the effect of all of the evil in this world. That's your doing. That's your responsibility. You are not a victim here. And again, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm not belittling anything that happens to people in this world. We're not doing that. So if somebody's a victim of a crime, of rape, of all of those things, we're not saying that they deserved it, or they called it upon themselves, or they brought it upon themselves. We are saying that in this moment, here and now, in this psalm, you have one responsibility, and that is to overcome those inner enemies, so that you are not going to be vulnerable in the future to anything like that. Okay, we've all been victimized. We all know what that feels like. So do not misunderstand. We are not blaming the victim, and we are not discounting or belittling anybody's awful experiences at the hands of some really destructive, evil, awful people that are out there. But we are taking back our power through this psalm so that that does not happen again, and we will not be victimized, and we will not be vulnerable. Make sense? Okay. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. That's right. Nobody inside your head, none of these evil thought forms is going to get saved. They will die by turning on the light, right? And so this is going to carry forth to anybody that tries to come and do anything with your home. They will not be saved either. They're going to go right to prison. They're going to go right to jail. They are not allowed entry into your home. Nobody is allowed to victimize you. That is not going to happen. We are not allowing it. We are standing up against the thought forms which allow such things, and we are saying no. So both internally and externally, we are commanding, we are demanding, and we are claiming your safety. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. There you go. You're throwing that garbage right out there. Again, we are talking about your inner enemies here. And that will reflect itself in the fact that any external enemies will be taken care of. And we say so, and we mean it, and we are claiming it, and we are demanding it, and we are commanding it, because we are gods. We were created to do such things. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. So the heathen inside of your head are all those erroneous thoughts, all of those ego thoughts, all the ego-based thinking. God is now saying, well, you know what? There's some of those thoughts that don't get destroyed. We're going to retrain them, and then we're going to have them work on your behalf. So those thoughts that were confused and running amok, we're actually going to retrain those thoughts, and they will now serve you. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. That's right. So all of your thought forms are going to submit themselves unto you. You are finally going to have command over your mind. You are finally going to have command over your energy systems. You are finally going to have command over your life. And it's not you separately that's doing that. It's because of you through infinite power, infinite intelligence are able to do this. You are aligning yourself with the plan of God. Right? And you are not going to be victimized. You are going to stand up, and you mean business. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their close places. Now, just looking at somebody who's got a really strong protection on their home, when people do try to break in, they get freaked out and run away. That's just what happens. They can't even do it. It's so scary for them. They run away. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. Blessed be my rock, right? Blessed be the foundation of my safety. Blessed be my security, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. The answering of my prayer, which in this case is utter safety, utter security, utter peace within your home, and that's your salvation. And we're going to exalt the power that makes that be so. Exalt the power that makes that be so. And we find that exaltation within our own exalted self, within our mind, because we are one with it. Again, there is no external deity. It's all an inside job. It is God that avengeth me and subdueth the people under me. That's right. You are avenged and they are subdued, both internally now and externally. Not only are we are subduing and avenging you from all of those erroneous, awful, evil thought forms, either of your own making or of your own heritage or of the entire race consciousness, but we are also acknowledging that God avengeth you and subdueth anybody that tries to fuck with you. All right? And that includes, in this particular case, your home. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. It's right here in black and white. Now there is an inner violence that you ultimately is the most important violent man to be delivered from, and that's your own ego. But the reflection of that ego, the way that ego tries to prove to you and bear witness to the fact that it's real, is by allowing and attracting and manufacturing violent men in the world, so that he can say, see, you're not safe. See, there is no God, right? That's going to be gone now, because God's delivering you from the violent man, both internally and externally. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Regardless of what little thoughts you got going on inside your head, and regardless of what the news says, regardless of what your neighbors say, regardless of any of that stuff, you are going to sing praises unto the name of God. What is the name of God? The nature of God. What is the nature of God? You know what the nature of God is. Infinite life, infinite presence, infinite peace, infinite power, infinite truth, infinite safety. That's the name of God. Yeah, we do have names of God in the Hebrew names of God that we use Kabbalistically, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what those names mean. So you got to remember that you are the heir to infinite power. This is not light thinking here. You've got to claim your heritage. You are the heir to the royal house of God. That's who you are. You're somebody. You do not have to put up with nonsense. And until you get that, you're going to put up with it. So you must claim it. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David, and to his seed forevermore. So great deliverance it does God give to his king. Now you're the king in your own universe. God's given you one section of the garden which you are Lord and master over. And he's given you deliverance from problems within that, because you claimed that deliverance. He showed mercy to his anointed. That's you. To David. That's you. And to his seed forevermore. His seed means not your biological children necessarily, although it can mean that. But in this case, it means your thought forms, and the outpouring and the outcoming of those thought forms, and the seeds that those thought forms plant on to generation after generation after generation. Because as this stuff happens, it snowballs, and your life becomes better and better and better. And if it's not becoming better and better and better, you know what to do. You come back and you find out where the problems are, and you ask that they be healed on your behalf, just like we're doing today. But you do not put up with nonsense. You don't put up with being a victim anymore. You do not put up with any sense of vulnerability, any sense of that nonsense, because it's all an inside job. You got to work on the inside first, and then you work on the outside. You do not act irresponsibly. You lock your home. You get a decent alarm system. You don't flaunt your wealth. You make sure that you do the right things within the world to stay safe, and then you hit this stuff hard, because there is no reason why you, of all people, should be victimized. So you go ahead and protect your home, okay? I love you very much. I can't wait to spend more time with you. Blessed be.